Welcome back to Bulgaria and welcome back to Bdin Vidin in our Football Manager 24 Build a Nation save. So last season we completed phase 5 on our journey, which was win the title. Now we move into phase 6, which is to become dominant. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of our Build a Nation save here in Bulgaria as the manager of Bdin. We have reached the start of a new season, so we're here to have a look over some of the signings that we've made. There's not been too many first team signings. There's been a big focus on youth and really trying to get the loan farm up and running as much as we can. We need the nation of Bulgaria to start growing now. Obviously we still need Bdin to grow as well, which is pretty much our main aim at the minute. We need to become easily the best team in Bulgaria. That's very hard when we have teams like Ludogorets though. So we're going to have a quick look at the signings. We're going to obviously have a run through of what we've done since the last time you were here. Before we get into that though guys, please do remember that I do stream on a Sunday. I'm a keen sim racer. I've got iRacing, I've got a steering wheel, stuff like that, and I do stream as much as I can basically on a Sunday afternoon around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll start and I'll be on for 4 or 5 hours. So if any of that interests you, then be sure to come along on Sunday, check it out, you know, have a chat with me, stuff like that. But let's get into the video and we'll start off with the signings. For this episode guys, we're going to start off on this screen rather than me doing my usual little piece of graphic-y stuff. There's just far too many of them for me to go over. Now this is the end of last season. I did bring a lot of players in before the season ticked over. The last player I brought in last season was João Sousa, a young player from Gil Vicente, £525,000. In terms of this season, again it has been a big focus on youth. We've got Christian Callejon from Cartagena, Nicola Young from Bromby, 2.5 million, Mohamed Isaac from Mulder for £350,000. Now these are very young players, 16 years old, with the obviously looking to get the loan farm going. They have got great potential, all of these players. So once they hit 17, I am looking to loan them out as quickly as possible. They're also here to get homegrown status as well. In terms of a possible first team player, we've got Charles, but he has gone on loan to Dunav for the season. He's an 18-year-old Brazilian with German nationality as well. Great potential replacement for James Ali Marungu. So Marungu can move further up into the midfield as an advanced playmaker, which is obviously he's very good attribute wise for. Arno Roman is another one, free transfer defensive midfielder. Again, another one, 17-year-old Dutchman. He's gone out on loan to Chernomets Burgas. Alright, their current ability, they're not going to get much first team football for these clubs, but the idea is for them to let them develop there, keep extending the loan season on season for a lot of them, and hopefully they become good players for the other clubs in Bulgaria. Douglas Huzel was another one who was brought in as a centre half. Again, he's gone on loan to Lokomotiv Sofia. He is actually playing first team football for them at the age of 17. He's actually a fairly decent centre half, and again he's got bags of potential. Pretty much the only first team player who I've brought in this season is Ariel. He's a Spaniard who has also got, if I can remember what this one is, Equatorial Guinea nationality as a second nationality. He's coming for a total of 10.5 million, but his value's already doubled. He is a very good centre half who can also play as a left wing back. So we do have that option there going forward. You can see he's played really well so far this season. Looking at his match stats, he's done fantastically well. Still only 25 as well. Still got, he's not going to hit too much more potential at the age of 25. But yeah, as you can see, he's slightly growing in his attributes. But he's a really good defender. The only thing that lets him down is his height and his jumping reach. It may be not the greatest, so I probably lean more towards playing him as the left wing back more often than not. But again, we've got some young players moving into this season. We've spent a lot of money again. These are all young players, and a lot of them have gone out on loan again. In terms of on the outs, nothing too major in terms of transfers out. I have rejected a load of bids. Real Madrid have been in for Pal Munoz. In the end, he's actually signed a new contract with us. We've got the Saudis coming in for Nectar Triantis, which we keep rejecting as well. So in total, we did recoup 2.7 million in transfers, but a big part of that last season was Marco Bettini. The rest of them have gone out on loan or for small fees. You can see how many loans we've got gone out this season. I'm trying to get as many as I can out on loan. And if we have a look at the dev center, I'm only at 24. which is a little bit disappointing. I need that to be triple that, you know, really. But I can only sort of loan the players out who want to go out and the clubs want to come in for. But they're all at Bulgarian clubs, which is obviously fantastic. Maritza, really big help having them in the second tier as a affiliate club. Can send some of my younger players out there and get their first team football. So that's the signings, guys. Obviously, we'll have a look at how they stack up in the starting lineup when we get into it. Moving on to how things are going in Bulgaria in the FBet League preliminary phase. Georgi Benkovsky will go over what's happening with the stadium in a minute as well. But we opened up the season with a 3-2 win over Baro Staria Zagora. Albert Arnaud and Filip Vihunig with the goals. Giatau for Baro, who, by the way, is an absolutely fantastic player. Giatau, he is, let me just stick that down so we can actually see what's going on. This is my stadium pack in the background. It comes up in the back of some pictures. But Giatau, the 21-year-old Chinese player, is absolutely fantastic. He's got 18 pace. He can finish. He scores goals for fun. 39 and 52 for Baro. 78 and 125 over his career. A very, very good player. And it's great to see that the likes of Baro are signing a player like that. Hopefully they can keep hold of him. Followed that win up against Baro with a 4-1 away win to newly promoted Dunav. Paolo Bernardo, Nectar Triantis, Garcia McNulty and James Ali Marungu all on the score sheet in this one. We did concede one though to Zaprianov, which was very, very disappointing. But yeah, it's a really, really good performance. An XG of 4.4, which tells you just how dominant we were in this game. September, Sofia were next, and Timo Maas must have had his Weetabix in the morning because he came along and scored all 5 goals in a 5-0 win. Was absolutely fantastic. Timo Maas, though, is another one who's gone out on loan. He's gone to CSK 1948. I'm not sure if he's actually made any appearances for them in the league. He has. He's made 3 and scored 1 goal, and he's got a very, very good average rating so far. So that's really going to help Timo Maas hopefully hit some of this potential, which can only be a good thing for him. Yeah, fantastic 5-0 win though. And we scored 4 in the next one. Filip Vihunig and August Prisk, the two Danes, getting a double apiece. Away to Chernomorets Burgas again, we've had 20 shots. The whole team's played fantastically well, and it's another thumping victory. Dropped our first point of the season away to Ludogorets Razgrad though, a 1-1 draw. August Prisk with our goal. It was Daniel Bassi in the 7th minute for Ludogorets. They edged the game ever so slightly, but we're at the point now where between us and Ludogorets, we're very, very similar teams. I think Ludogorets is still slightly stronger than us, and that is reflected in the league odds for this season. Although in the league odds, Ludogorets are not considered to be the favourites for the league. It's actually Levski Sofia, where we're just behind them in 3rd place. We've reduced our odds down to 4.5 now, which is obviously massive gains from where we've gone, and we've actually got quite a few players in the Media Dream 11 now, but Levski are actually the favourites for this season. So a point away to Ludogorets wasn't actually too bad of a result. Next up, it was CSK Sofia, a 2-0 win in this one. Mads Bethelsen and Lima getting on the score sheet. Bethelsen's another one who I've tried to loan out. Nobody came in for him. You can see we've got him on the development list and listed for loan here. He does still have some potential to fulfil, but he's not really going to be a Bdin player going forward. He's actually listed as a good Vitora Liga player. So if we can get him into maybe a newly promoted top tier side where he can hopefully hit some of that potential. 22 years old now, Mads is not really valued massively high. He's maybe one who I don't know, maybe just move on. Maybe he's not really going to cut it, is Mads Bethelsen. He did score on this one though, which was good to see. Next up, I was an away trip to Botev Plovdiv, and it was Christoph Danek and Mads Bethelsen again getting on the score sheet. Again, we've played really, really well in this game. You can see on the left-hand side, though, Tafizo Umfont Shane, who was on their loan there at the end of last season. We've actually extended his loan into this season. He's come off the bench for them, though, which is not ideal. He wasn't long enough to pick up a match rating. I do need Umfont Shane to get regular first-team football while he's at Botev. He's made 17 appearances in total for them, but only 5 off the bench this season. He's another one who is a very, very good player, still got some potential to hit, although at 23 years old, maybe not going to make it. And he doesn't actually play in a position that we use currently in our formation, because for the 3rd season running, we're using the second yellow cards formation. Next season, we are going to change it, though. We're going to look to go a different direction. I was going to do it this season, but I don't actually have the players for those positions. So Mponchain may be one of those long-term loan players who stays at Botev for a number of years. And we lost our first game of the season next time out at home to Lokomotiv Sofia, and it was very, very disappointing. August Prisk and Tabi Mbarga with the goals for Bdin. It was after Joe Gelhardt, Alpha Torre and Valentin Nikolov had scored the goals for Lokomotiv Sofia. Tabi Mbarga is another one of my young Cameroonian with a Spanish nationality. Another very, very good centre-half at 19 years old. Again, you can see he's on the development list, obviously looking to loan him out. He is improving, but he doesn't really play too much football for us, which is why he's on the development list. And then most recently in the league, we've gone away to Spartak Varna, who are flying high, by the way, Spartak Varna. They qualified for Europe last season. They're having a great season so far this season. Klimis Syrikos, who has spent the last 8 months out injured with a very, very long-term injury. He's just come back. He's picked up the Man of the Match award, and he was out for 7 months with a damaged cruciate ligaments. He's missed quite a lot of football. He's not going to get any better as he is, but he's a good FBet Liga player. Can certainly still do a job for us. He's played 3 games since he's come back from that injury and played quite well in them. Obviously, Klimis is staying with me till he retires. He was my original 16-year-old, I would say wonder kid. At the time we got him, he was a wonder kid. He's not anymore, but he's staying with me till he retires, basically. So in terms of where we are in the league, you can see that we're currently sat in 2nd position. We're 4 points behind Levski Sofia, who, as I said, are the favourites for the league season. We can even have a look at that in the season preview. They're at 2.88, Ludogorets at 3.75. We've moved slightly up again, back to 5s, but you can see that we've got Subic, Ariel, Ali Marungu, Prisk and Vahunig in the Media Dream 11. We've actually got more players than any of the other teams in the Media Dream 11. We've got 2 of the 3 best players in the league in Ali Marungu and Philip Vahunig, who's another one who's been attracting some interest, and obviously we've rejected all of those as well. He really needs to start scoring more goals, though, although 1 in 2 is not actually too bad of a return, is it, from the Dane. So yeah, we're doing quite well in the league. We've got a game in hand over Levski, so we can move to a point behind them. We can move 3 points clear of Ludogorets, but as I said, Spartak Varna are on the same number of points as us as well, which is obviously good to see. Growing clubs like Spartak Varna, who are in Europe this season, and CSK 1948, who are also in Europe, is the aim for what we're doing here. In terms of how we've got on in Europe, of course, we finished 2nd in the table last season. Bulgaria also moved down a spot in the coefficients, so we've had to qualify this time around for the Champions League, and we went in at the 2nd qualifying round in the league path, and we were drawn against Brann of Norway. They came to Bulgaria. We picked up a 1-0 win courtesy of Christoph Danek. We played very, very well in the game. They didn't play so well. They were arguably lucky to come away with just a 1-0 defeat. And looking at that goal, it was Philip Vahunig with some great work. Nice run through the midfield. It's a good tackle, but we do work the ball to Danek, and it's a great finish. Second leg away in Norway, though, and Brann actually won 1-0, and it went all the way to penalties. Adam Papp, the hero of the penalty shootout in this one, and it was a very even game, don't get me wrong. Brann played much, much better. We had some poor performances. Paulo Bernardo has not played particularly well. Neither has Toninho Guerrero. So a very even game. And we've scraped through on penalties. So first of all, the goal that we conceded was, it looks like it's on a counter-attack. It's a long ball over the top. We've caught behind. It's a good finish from Miralid. In terms of how the penalty shootout went, though, this is the first goal. Danek. Papp makes the save for the first Brann one. Prisk steps up, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way to make it 2-0 to Bdin. Papp saves the next one again from Kelder, so 2-0 after 2 penalties each. Ali Marungu, though, poor penalty, saved by Hoxas. Jensen Wasberg just gets it past Papp. He does go the right way. Timo Maas sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And then Mathiasson. Papp almost got there again, but by that point, it was already too late, and we go through 4-2 on penalties. Into the 3rd qualifying round then, we were drawn against Anderlecht. And first of all, we went to Belgium. We did concede 2 goals very early on, and we were 2-0 down before Philip Vahunig and August Prisk rescued the game for us. So disappointing to concede so early on, particularly from a cross like that one. We've got some big centre halves in there. They did score again not long after and die with the ball. Lakatos, ball into the box. It's too easy in the penalty area though. But we did obviously bounce back and pick up the 3-2 win. It was Lima feeding Danek. Prisk on the edge of the area, finds Arnaud, back to Subic on the left-hand side. Slips it inside to Philip Verhunig to pull one back. Next one came from free kick. Danek rolling it to Verhunig. Nice training ground routine there. Great team goal from the boys. And we wrapped it up in the 54th minute. It was Lima with some good work down the right-hand side. Gets the ball across and Prisk with the header. Into the second leg though. And again, we've lost the second leg. We 2-1 this time to Anderlecht, which again forced it to penalties. 4-4 on aggregate. And again, Adam Papp proves to be the hero in the penalty shootout. So Anderlecht did take the lead again. And it was again poor defending again inside that 6-yard area. But we did claw one back in the 75th minute. Lima again, great work on the right hand side. Pulls it back to Garcia McNulty across for Paulo Bernardo. And at this stage it was 4-3 on aggregate to Bdin. But with just a couple of minutes remaining, Anderlecht did pull level. De Winter with the ball forward towards Rouvroy. And it's a great finish past Adam Papp, which forced it to penalties again. Which again, Adam Papp, the hero, saves another one. Danek, great penalty. Undai, which Papp again saves. He's been fantastic in these penalty shootouts as Adam Papp. Garcia McNulty sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. De Winter steps up, sends Papp the wrong way. Can't keep that one out. Prisk, calm penalty right into the bottom corner. Buchetta, Papp nearly gets there again. Can't quite get there, but that was the end of the penalty shootout, guys. It wasn't quite the end of the penalty shootout. We haven't seen the Ali Marungu one. I don't know why football managers are cutting them out, but the two missed from Anderlecht there. Adam Papp, absolute hero. And we were drawn against Lian in the playoff. This is to get into the Champions League proper. And the first leg was in France, and Jean-Mathieu Bahoya got a double for Lian before Paulo Bernardo opened the scoring for Bdin. We went 1-0 up in this one, but we were absolutely battered by Lian in this game. And just having a look at the goals, it was just after half-time. Ali Marungu picks the ball up in midfield, drives forward, feeds it to Paulo Bernardo. Good finish from the Portuguese. But like I said, we did let Lian obviously get back into the game. It was a poor ball out by Garcia McNulty, really. Subic caught on his heels. Good ball forward to Bahoya. Bahoya maybe could have done a little bit better, but it is a good finish from the Frenchman. And then Mohamed Cham finds Balossian into Minakti. Good ball forward towards Bahoya. Maybe not the best of defending again. Second leg though in Bulgaria, and Lian don't know what hit them. We've absolutely thumped them through Sirikos, Danek, Arnaud and Ali Marungu to go through 5-2 on aggregate and qualify for the Champions League proper for the second season in a row. Sorry, third season in a row. Third season in a row, of course it is. 3 years in a row we've been in the Champions League proper. So it was Sirikos who got us underway. Ariel feeding the ball to the left and Subic inside to Arnaud. Good ball forward towards Sirikos. Not too long after, we bagged another one. Ali Marungu feeding Prisk to Arnaud. The Frenchman involved again. Sirikos and Danek. Some great one-touch football from the Bdin boys there. Into the second half now. Danek with the free kick. Another one of these training ground routines. Munoz back to Danek. Arnaud with the great effort from the edge of the area from the young Frenchman. And we've wrapped it up. Danek with the free kick off the crossbar. Ali Marungu taps into the empty net. So this is how we stack up in the Champions League. There is some defeats along the way in terms of qualifying, which obviously is not ideal. But we have qualified again. And these are the teams that we've been drawn against. We start off with Legia Warsaw. We're then away to Nice, the south of France. At home to Napoli. We go to London and Chelsea. Away to Norway. Porto come to Bulgaria. We've then got Inter and Valencia. I believe Inter are the defending champions again. I could be wrong though. No, it's Milan, sorry. Inter have been runner-up for the last 2 years. 2 out of 3 years. So both the Milan clubs having good runs in the Champions League. But that is who we're going to start off against, guys. We're going to start off today against Legia Warsaw. And then obviously we're going to have a look and see how we're getting on in terms of when we come back. We could be back for Valencia if we've got a chance of qualifying. If we've already qualified by that point, we'll obviously come back like we did last season. Do the draw for the knockout round. And take on the double leg for the knockout round. And just while we're on, guys, I did mention that we're going to have a look at what's happening with the stadium coming up. As things stand, we're currently in a 15,000 capacity stadium with 9,000 seats. It is quite an old stadium now, 71 years old. It's not in great condition. It says good there, but it is owned by the club. But we obviously looked last season, the board said they were going to build a new stadium. Unfortunately, they're searching for a site, and the planned capacity is 7,132, which seems very small to me. It does seem very small to me, and obviously we won't be able to build a new one. I think it's 20 years after that, if we're still going by then, of course. I think 7,000 stadium is going to be quite small. We've upgraded these again. Training facilities are up at 18, youth facilities at 14. I am going to ask to improve them yet again, but we've got exceptional youth recruitment and exceptional junior coaching. We have now got the best youth academy in Bulgaria, and we're hopefully going to start seeing the benefits of that in the years to come with the youth intakes. So we're all caught up, guys. We're going to get into the live com. We'll meet some of the players properly and see how we get on against Legia Warsaw. And here we are, guys. This is the lineup that we're going to go with for today. We're going to be Adam Papp in goal. As always, you can see that we are, with the players that we're loaning out, we're actually quite short on players again in terms of being on the bench. It's going to be Adam Papp, Nectar Triantis, new signing Ariel as the libero. Obviously, like I say, his height is not ideal for him being a central defender. That is something that we're definitely going to have to monitor. In fact, I haven't even set his training up. I thought I had. I clearly haven't. I was supposed to be focusing on his aerial. Hopefully that can improve. Maybe it improves his heading and his bravery. Obviously nothing can really improve him growing any, can he, at 25 years old at 5'10". It's a very familiar sort of defensive midfield three: Subic, Ali Marungu and Lima. We then have Arnaud and Danek in the midfield. Again, very, very familiar. Arnaud is turning into a very, very good player at 20 years old. It could be better, and obviously it's maybe an area of weakness for us, but you have a look at his performances that he's put in this season, you'd maybe say it's not really too much of a weakness. We've then got Prisk, who has had an okay season, has the Dane, and then Philip Verhunig, who, like I say, does really need to start finding the back of the net a little bit more. He has picked up another injury this season, though. He was injured for 4 weeks with a twisted ankle against Ludogorets. Does like an injury, does Philip Verhunig. So that's obviously something that we need to keep an eye on. So as we come out onto the pitch for our first Champions League game of the new season, Legia Warsaw come to Bdin. Hopefully we can have a good performance like we did last time out at the start of the Champions League season against AEK and pick up a good win. And we get our first highlight 12 minutes into the game. It's Lima throwing to Danek, finds Triantis, the Australian. Lima again on the right hand side. Inside to Danek. Arnaud to Prisk. Prisk back out to the right hand side, and Lima for Danek with the effort on his weaker right foot. Harmlessly over the bar though. New highlight, guys, just a couple of minutes later, and it's Lima on the ball again. Seen a lot of the ball early on in this first half. Is the Brazilian right wing back. Triantis feeds it back to Lima. Lima comes inside towards Arnaud. Arnaud Prisk, first time round the corner to Verhunig. Verhunig's got Triantis. Inside to Prisk. Prisk got Lima ahead of him. Lima's in behind here. Comes back to Danek instead. Verhunig! Philip Verhunig with his 6th of the season. Gives Bdin the lead in the 14th minute. A brilliant team goal there. Right, approaching half-time now. And a Legia Warsaw goal kick. It's won in the air by Triantis. Prisk can't get the follow, but Danek picks up the loose ball in the midfield. It feeds to the left, and Verhunig. Now Arnaud. Arnaud back forward to Verhunig. Prisk looking for the second goal of the game. The two Danes combine up top. And August Prisk gets his 7th of the season. Looking to make it 3 just before half-time. Danek with this free kick. He's very good from this sort of range. Can he find the target this time? I think it's saved by the goalkeeper. I wasn't sure whether it clipped the top of the crossbar and went over. But the goalkeeper's made the save. It's going to be Prisk to take the resulting corner. Swings it towards the far post. Headed clear, though. Ali Marungu picks up the pieces in midfield. That is going to be the end of that, though. It has been a very dominant first half for Bdin. Legia Warsaw have got no answer to us at the minute. 66 on the clock. Prisk with the corner again. This time picks out Triantis. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. They do manage to get it away. Kolasa looking to counter, though. Arnaud comes across. Cuts out his progress. That is the end of that highlight as far as Legia is concerned. We've made a couple of changes. We've brought Lima off for Munoz. We've also moved Ariel to that left wing back position Garcia McNulty on in the centre of defence. Approaching the end of the game now, Legia Warsaw with the long goal kicks, won in the air quite comfortably by the Bdin player, but Legia do retain possession. Rengel heads that one down to Ariel. It gives it inside to Albert Arnaud, comes back to Rengel again. Arnaud looks long over the top towards Verhoening. He's got him behind his. He's got two defenders with him though. Pulls it across towards Prisk. They're going to give that as a penalty. If you, that's never a penalty. The defender got there well before Prisk. It's one of the bugbears for me in this year's match engine. Things that look like great tackles like that are given as penalties. We're going to get the opportunity to make it 3-0 here in this one. It's going to be Danek to take the penalty. And he's put it into the top corner. The goalkeeper guessed right, but just too much power on the penalty. From my point of view, that's a poor penalty to score. It was never a penalty in my eyes. But yeah, Danek's, it's a fantastic penalty from the Czech. And that is a fantastic win as far as Bdin are concerned. A thoroughly dominant victory on the opening day of Champions League. Right, guys, like I said, we are, of course, going to come back. Depending on what happens here, if we're already qualified or not, we're going to come back and do that. But as things stand, we're currently sat in 3rd position in the table. Ludogorets are also in the Champions League proper. They're yet to play. So we've got 2 clubs in the Champions League proper. I think the other 2 are possibly in the Conference League, if I remember rightly. There's one who haven't qualified for the proper competition. It is Levski Sofia and 1948 are both in the Conference League proper. Spartak Varna unfortunately didn't get through their qualifiers, but there's still 4 Bulgarian clubs in the league phase of a European competition. There's excellent chance for us to earn some coefficients this season. As far as this episode goes though, guys, that is going to be it for us. We will be back, like I say, towards the end of that Champions League group phase, depending on what happens. Until then though, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.